right, let's now shift our focus to the other big story that we are tracking today, where Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, has arrived in the historic city of Amman in Jordan and was warmly greeted by the King of Jordan. Both the leaders had a one-on-one meeting followed by dinner that was hosted by King Abdullah of Jordan. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be, of course, the first Indian Prime Minister to visit the state of Palestine. Prime Minister Modi is, of course, also expected to have a packed schedule for the weekend, as he will have multiple meetings with various leaders. The Indian community and businessmen in the first engagement of the Prime Minister after arrival in Ramallah will be to lay a wreath at the mausoleum of Yasser Arafat. The Prime Minister Modi will be accompanied by Prime Minister of Palestine Rami Hamdallah. So when Prime Minister Modi lands in Ramallah today, he will be the first sitting Indian Prime Minister to make an official visit. Though India has shied away from becoming a party in the Israel-Palestinian conflict, the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has stressed on a possible role for New Delhi in the West Asia peace process. So when the two leaders meet today, a lot is in fact riding on this trip for Palestine. Palestinians have fewer friends in the region and wield far lesser influence than the heydays of Yasser Arafat. Not long ago, countries like Syria, Iraq and Libya were at the forefront of the Palestinian cause, but now all of them are struggling to survive as state entities themselves. The statelessness of the Palestinians is no longer the biggest priority in West Asia. So what really does Palestine want from India? That, of course, is going to be talked about a lot over the course of the next 2 days. For starters, a commitment from New Delhi on the core issue of statehood. Ramallah would want India to play a role in the creation of a multilateral forum of negotiations to strike a final deal with the State of Israel. Palestine would also want India to sign deals and give funds to boost healthcare and education. But there are troubling elements for India to consider. Internal squabbles between the rival movements of Fatah and Hamas are not helping the Palestinian cause and give less confidence to the potential partners to back them. For months, political rapprochement has been in the works, but a breakthrough still evades them. Last week, the two factions had missed another deadline to implement a reconciliation deal, potentially burying the accord that is aimed at ending their decade-long split. Now, the two sides remain sharply at odds over the fate of tens of thousands of Hamas civil servants and two separate civil administrations in Gaza. No election has been held in more than 12 years in Gaza. Now, the lives of thousands of children have been disrupted by the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Jannah Jihad was just 7 years old when she lost two of her family members who were killed in the conflict. Now, 4 years later, she has carved a name for herself as the world's youngest journalist. Our West Asia correspondent Daniele Pagani caught up with Jannah Jihad at her home in Palestine.
We have a guest today. He's a journalist, he's a colleague, perhaps the youngest colleague I've ever met in my life. She's 11 years old and she started reporting when she was 7 years old. I think that since she is a colleague, I'll leave her the mic and she's going to tell us what's her name, what she does, what's her dream, and why she does what she does. To you.
My name is Jannah Jihad and I'm 11 years old. I live in Palestine here in Nabi Saleh and I'm the youngest journalist in the world. I started doing that thing when I was 7 years old, when I saw that there was not enough journalists to cover the things that happens here in Palestine, especially in my village Nabi Saleh. For example, when my friend Mustafa was being killed near me, when my uncle Rishdi was being killed near me, a lot of things happens and the world didn't know about our fear or our feelings or our daily suffering that we suffer here in Nabi Saleh and in Palestine. So I wanted to be the voice of the Palestinian children, send their message to the whole world, saying that we just want to live in peace, love and equality and justice, to live our childhood, to live like every child in the world, without checkpoints, without war, without killing. I want to be 5 things. First thing, I want to study political science, to just know more about what the governments in the world think. Second thing, I want to be a journalist. Of course, like Palestine will be free in that days, but I will cover the other children suffering. Third thing, I want to be an artist to just like send my message in a more funny way that can like children know it more. Fourth thing, I want to be a fashion designer to design more of the Palestinian traditional dresses and make it the fashion for those years. Fifth thing, I want to be a football player with Barcelona because to raise my name and my country name higher.
As Palestine calls, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will renew all ties in Ramallah.
Well, we are currently in UAE and soon we will be travelling to Abu Dhabi and Muscat to give you in-depth details on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's three-nation tour.
Come to Ramallah with me, Daniele Pagani, as I track the historic Indian Prime Minister's visit to Palestine.
In the next few days, we will be closely tracking Prime Minister Narendra Modi